Welcome to, well, it's Friday, so happy Friday. Welcome to another installment here of, well, I guess I was going to do a La Liga review, but of course the Champions League got underway. So I figured I might as well just touch on the Champions League when it's the Champions League, and when there isn't Champions League going on, we'll go back to La Liga games or Serie A or Premier League games. Yeah, so welcome. This is the predicament that I knew I was going to get into, right? I start making videos and all these games start rolling. There was league games last weekend, and there was Champions League Tuesday, Wednesday. Europa League, which I don't think I'm going to cover, but there are some exciting games and some good teams playing there. And then you have, well, that was Thursday, and then you have Friday, and then tomorrow, well, I think there's even some league games today, and then the weekend, more league games. So this is what I knew I was going to battle with, and what I was going up against, really. But yeah, let's just stick to the two Champions League dates, Tuesday and Wednesday. The start of a new Champions League, right? Everybody was so anxious to see how, especially the big clubs, you're always expecting to see how Barcelona plays, how Real Madrid plays, how PSG plays, and those teams do. I'm sorry if I sound nasally. I'm battling, I think, a flu here, and feeling a little bit better than the past couple days, but still not 100%. That aside, the big headlines for sure was Real Madrid getting you could say dominated, really. I saw a majority of the game. I saw all of it. I don't think there was a time where Real Madrid had PSG up against the ropes or was dominating or seemed like they were going to pull one through. There was that Bale goal that was called back because of a handball that he used his right arm to settle the ball, so it was called back. But other than that, I think it was, aside from just a poor performance on the field, I think it was also a tactical error, or he just got out coached by the PSG player, coach, I can't remember his name, Zidane. So I think I put a lot of the blame here on Zidane. The reason being is because you're playing a 4-3-3 with Casemiro, James, and Kroos on the other side. Two players that aren't necessarily known for getting back and defending, right? And another one, Casemiro, who's more so known for defending. So that had me a little bit, I kind of left scratching my head, right? Because he usually plays Kroos and Modric, and then he'll have Casemiro right behind them. So if they get caught too high, you always have at least Casemiro holding the attack. And there were some instances where you see where they lose the ball, Real Madrid, and everybody is caught up high, and then PSG just has this open space and easily counters Real Madrid. So, take no credit away from PSG. They did their job, and this was without Mbappe, Cavani, Neymar, and a few others. Sure, Ramos was missing, Modric was missing, but I think the problem there was, I don't know what Zidane was doing in his lineup, right? He should have stuck to what got him 3 Champions Leagues, unless he wanted to switch things up or wanted to play in favor of, I don't know, maybe it gave Hazard some more space. I don't know. Or more creativity up top with Bale and Hazard. I don't know, right? Maybe he felt like, okay, they're missing their offensive power. I can go ahead and do without that defending midfielder. But clearly it bit him in the butt. But yeah, take no credit away from PSG. They played well without their 3 stars. More matchups: Barcelona, Borussia. I think everybody knew it was going to be a tough match, simply because going to Dortmund, playing that crowd, really, you're playing against an extra player with that crowd. It wasn't going to be easy, and for the most part in that match, the dominating squad was the home team again too, right? Borussia could have scored a couple times, but Ter Stegen, who to me is probably either 1 or 2, right? Him and Oblak go back and forth, but they're 2 ridiculously good goalkeepers. Maybe even Ter Stegen could be, hell, if you want to nitpick after this week, Oblak led in 2, Ter Stegen had some brilliant saves, so yeah, I mean, I wouldn't dispute you if you say he's the best goalkeeper in the world. But in that game, again, Barcelona's defense, it's the same problem that Real Madrid has, right? They have aging stars, aging players, and their defense is still more or less the same, right? Where you in the back you have Piqué, who's aging, probably lost a step. Jordi Alba, how can he hold up a full season going up and down that left side? I think he actually got injured, so that's going to be interesting to see. Lenglet, who's great at times, but other times he just have these ridiculous mistakes, and you just never know with him, right? Then I think it was Messi's first game back, actually. He got I think he got 15, 20 minutes of playing time, and to me, he lost the ball quite a bit. He didn't look as sharp. Sure, people could say it's rust, he's just coming off an injury. I think that's what he was nursing, an injury. But hey, it's football. It's just the nature of the game. You start losing a step. You're not doing the things you once were doing at 25 that you're doing at 32, 33, 34, right? I mean, you have to put it into context. Iniesta at 33, 34 left. I think same thing with Xavi, right? So yes, we live in a world where Cristiano and Messi are aliens to us, right? We were just so used to them doing ridiculous things. But at some point, you have to understand that Father Time, if you will, or just physiologically, you just start declining a little bit, especially in a sport that requires a lot of sprint, cutting, thinking, all in the same... within the same seconds, right? You start slowing down. What you once saw, once you had the ball in your feet, you might not see, or that sprint you were able to make, now you're only able to make 75, 80%, maybe not full-on sprinting, right? So to me, he looked a little bit slow. He lost a couple balls. Yeah, I mean, am I overreacting? Probably, I could be. It could just be him getting in the swing of things. But like I said, it's just the nature of football. These players, especially soccer, right? I can't stress this enough, but they play internationally, domestically, League Cup, whatever else, and then the Champions League. So you're looking at close to 50 games, 90 minutes, 50 games. I mean, it's a lot of wear and tear, right? But yeah, overall, Dortmund should have won that game. They played well, but they just couldn't finish. Rose had that penalty that Ter Stegen brilliantly saved. It's just going to be interesting to see these Spanish sides, which I'll say again, Atletico to me is the favorite in Spain. If they're going to win if there's a team that's going to win the Champions League, it's probably going to win from Spain. It's definitely going to be Atletico. I don't think Barcelona or Real Madrid have that depth that Atletico have. Other matches, Atletico Juventus, which was a hard fought. It almost felt like that match felt like one of those. It felt like last year's I think they were in, was it the round of 16 or quarterfinals between the two? But that's what it felt like, right? It was definitely an elimination round type of feel to it, which is awesome. You want to see that. You don't want to see, oh, conservative play, or oh, we'll scrape by with a point here. No, Juventus went for the win. They weren't just content with getting a point, and then Atletico counterback with all the depth that they had, right? Hector Herrera found himself a late equalizer, and they both get a point, and it's going to be a tough match. I think those two are favorites to win it all too, as is, of course, the Real Madrids, PSGs, and all that. But I think the dark horses that perhaps aren't being talked about enough, Juventus and Atletico to win the Champions League. It could be Simeone, Cholo Simeone's finally his chance, or maybe his last chance to win a Champions League, right? Who knows? Other matches that took place, I know Napoli, I didn't get to watch that one, but I heard there was some VAR going on, which, by the way, from the beginning I wasn't a fan of the virtual assistant refereeing crap. It just adds a whole nother layer, whole other dimension to officiating, right? Then you start asking questions, okay, well, who checks VAR? Is there going to be somebody else above that, you know? And to me, it's almost like a psychological thing with VAR. Because as soon as you go to review something, there has to be some hint of doubt that you made the correct call, right? Maybe down the line there'll be some study as to how many plays get overturned or because they go to VAR, right? Human error was always part of football and is always going to be part of sports, and it's part of it now. It's still part of it with VAR, right? It just adds a whole nother layer of complexity that I think football could have been fine without. What can you do? It's something I guess we're gonna have to deal with, unless a future or down the line they just get rid of it, which I would be perfectly okay with. But yeah, other than that, PSG rounding up. PSG 3-0 on Real Madrid. I'd put it a lot on Zidane. Barcelona scrapes by with a 0-0 tie in Dortmund. Napoli, I guess, beats the defending champions and by a goal gets away. But another one was Tottenham ties Olympiacos 2-2. I caught the ending of that, but Tottenham just didn't look. Olympiacos looked more comfortable than Tottenham did. Tottenham. Sorry, over here speaking Spanglish, but it's still early in the campaign. Everybody's still getting adjusted. I think once a few weeks go by, players start coming back, teams start getting more adjusted, and we'll see. Yeah, that's gonna finish it off for today, guys. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I'll try to upload it tomorrow, Saturday. But by that time, league plays back. So, like I said, I'm just gonna do Champions League when it's Champions League week. That way I'm not trying to catch up on all these games and trying to edit them and upload them. Because by the time I upload Champions League and then the league play, it's the next week and I'm already behind and it's no good to you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome weekend Friday. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend, guys. Take care. Much love.